Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Hockey Raiders News and Rumors Rundown. My name is Jim Parsons. I'm here with thehockeyraiders.com. We've got lots to go through. We're going to get to it right away. Just a quick reminder, though, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so with the Hockey Raider. You can go to facebook.com/hockeyraiders. You can follow us on YouTube. You can join our morningskate.io newsletter or go to thehockeyraiders.com for all the stories that we're talking about, including news on Ben Chiarot, the defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. It is talk that that trade could be coming here pretty quickly. St. Louis Blues are considered to be the favorite here. There was some talk that maybe Chiarot would go to Calgary as part of the deal that landed them Tyler Toffoli out of Montreal. But essentially what happened here was both guys were talked about in the deal. Montreal's holding out for 2 first-round picks. They got one for Toffoli. They want one for Chiarot. Calgary realized this was probably too big of a deal for them to do all at once, so they went with Toffoli. Maybe they'll circle back on Ben Chiarot if St. Louis or another team doesn't come forward here with a decent offer. But the Montreal Canadiens are looking to move Chiarot right away. They could eventually go back to Calgary with this if nobody else comes forward. But for now, it's Tyler Toffoli in Calgary, and we'll see what happens with Ben Chiarot. Lots to talk about JT Miller and how the Vancouver Canucks might be pulling back from the idea of trading Miller and instead maybe looking at trading someone like Brock Boeser. Now, Miller is the kind of guy that the Vancouver Canucks believe they can get value for in the offseason as well as at this year's trade deadline. So they might wait and see. Now, if someone like the Rangers or another team comes forward with a really compelling offer, then maybe they'll move JT Miller. That said, if they don't, one of the reasons Brock Boeser is out there is because he is due a qualifying offer as a pending RFA, and the Canucks are maybe not so sold that he is going to be worth the amount of money that they're going to have to commit to him long term, which could be why Brock Boeser is out there in conversations at this point. We'll see what happens there. Ilya Lyubushkin was traded from the Arizona Coyotes to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Big deal that happened here this weekend. Nick Ritchie goes to the Arizona Coyotes. Ryan Dzingel comes along with Lyubushkin, but he was placed on waivers by the Toronto Maple Leafs. So it's a cap move, but it's also the Maple Leafs getting their stay-at-home defenseman that they want, who's a little bit more reliable. They could move Timothy Lindgren now down to the AHL or trade him. They could move Justin Hall around. We'll see what really happens there. But Toronto needed to go out and get a little more security on their back end, and they've done that with this trade. We'll see what other cap moves they make here, but it looks like this could be the first, maybe of many. We'll see. Maybe the only deal that Toronto does, but they do get their kind of stay-at-home, physical, tough defenseman, and we'll see where that one goes. And the Vegas Golden Knights have shot down any rumors that they are interested in trading again for Marc-Andre Fleury after kind of dumping him to the Chicago Blackhawks this past offseason. There was talk that Robert Lehner's injury history or not 100% health could be a reason that the Golden Knights might look at another goaltender. But there was talk that Fleury might be interested or that they might be interested in Fleury, and GM Kelly McCrimmon shot that down almost immediately. He said, normally I don't make comments on this kind of stuff, but because there would be so much talk and chatter around this if this were actually real, I figured I should address it. We're not looking at Marc-Andre Fleury. Now, they might look at another goaltender, but for now, Fleury's not part of that conversation. So we'll see if he gets traded anywhere. We'll see if the Golden Knights go after another goaltender. A lot of this depends on what happens with Robert Lehner and his health. And we'll see where this all lands. But for now, Fleury is not going to Vegas. That probably isn't going to change anytime soon. All right, guys. That's going to do it for this week. Don't forget, check out thehockeyraiders.com for everything else that we got going on here. Trade deadline is not that far away, March 21st, so we're going to keep you posted on all those stories and more. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend.